Things seem to always work out for sitcom characters by the end of each episode, but that's not always the case for the actors who play them. From a lovable security guard to an icon of 90s stand-up, these former stars left us too early. Conchata Ferrell was no newcomer by the time 2.5 Men hit TV screens in 2003. She possessed a long list of credits, having appeared in supporting roles on shows like LA Law and Hearts of Fire. However, it was her part as Charlie Harper's no-nonsense housekeeper, Berta, that turned out to be the best-known performance of her career.
I love you too, Charlie. Give me $1,000.
Ferrell would go on to receive 2 Primetime Emmy nominations for the role. Sadly, Ferrell died at Sherman Oaks Hospital in October of 2020, following complications from a cardiac arrest. The 77-year-old actor was remembered by her co-star Charlie Sheen, who posted the following tribute to her on X. Sheen wrote, "An absolute sweetheart, a consummate pro, a genuine friend. Berta, your housekeeping was a tad suspect. Your people-keeping was perfect." While Jackson Odell might be better known for his role as Ari Caldwell in The Goldbergs, he also had a brief stint on Modern Family. The actor played Ted Durkis on the ABC sitcom, who attended the same school as Manny Delgado and Luke Dunphy. It wasn't a major part by any means, but it was a high-profile credit for the young actor at the time. In June 2018, Odell was found dead at a sober living home in Los Angeles. According to People, the actor died of an accidental drug overdose. Odell was only 20 years old. After his passing, Odell's family released a statement on his X account, writing, "He will always be a shining light and a brilliant, loving, and talented soul. He had so much more to share. Our family will always carry that truth forward. Our wish is that the rest of the world who knew and loved him does as well." A recurring gag on The Big Bang Theory featured Howard's mother, known as Mrs. Wolowitz, appearing off-screen. Fans would hear Howard's overprotective mother, but they would never physically see her.
Who's there? Are you a sex criminal?
Playing the role of Mrs. Wolowitz was Ann Susi, who also appeared in other sitcoms such as Cheers and Seinfeld. In November 2014, Susi died at the age of 62 from cancer. Melissa Rauch, who played Bernadette on The Big Bang Theory, posted a sweet tribute to Susi on X, writing, "So grateful to have known Ann Susi, who brought laughter and light with her always. She'll forever be in my heart." Sam Lloyd appeared in a number of sitcoms throughout the 90s and 2000s, popping up in everything from Third Rock from the Sun to Malcolm in the Middle. However, it was his recurring role as lawyer Ted Buckland in Scrubs that turned him into a household name. In fact, he even reprised his part for a few episodes of Cougar Town. Unlike other television lawyers who come across as pompous or cocky, Ted was a sad figure who served Sacred Heart Hospital. He didn't seem to like himself or his job all that much, and it was heavily implied that he was also terrible in the courtroom. Nonetheless, he became an endearing character that the audience couldn't get enough of. In April 2020, Lloyd died at the age of 56 due to complications associated with lung cancer.
It was just a punch in the stomach.
A year before that, the actor was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. By the time of his death, the cancer had spread to other areas of his body. Ken Howard had a star-studded career filled with many unforgettable performances. He appeared in big movies like Clear and Present Danger and popular TV shows such as Melrose Place. Naturally, Howard ventured into the world of sitcoms too. In the 2000s, he appeared as Ken Abbott in 2 episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He also guest starred in an episode of The Office. Behind the camera, Howard served as president of the Screen Actors Guild. He was also the first president of the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, also known as SAG-AFTRA. In March 2016, Howard died at the age of 71. He was receiving treatments for shingles at the time and was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer 9 years earlier. After Howard's death, the Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall spoke to The Hollywood Reporter and offered this remembrance of his late friend. "Ken was a really decent and talented man. We had wonderful conversations. At any time of the day, you could approach him and have a welcome visit and talk about any subject that came up. It was a pleasure to be around him." Ben Best was one of the creators of the HBO comedy Eastbound and Down, which starred Danny McBride as the disgraced baseball player Kenny Powers. Best also had a memorable turn as Kenny's old high school pal, Clegg, in several episodes of the series. In September 2021, the production company Rough House Pictures, which produced Eastbound and Down, announced Best's death on Instagram. The company wrote in its post, "It's with heavy hearts we say goodbye to our good buddy Ben Best. We lost him the day before he would have turned 47. A hell of a friend and a creative force. He inspired us and made us laugh. Charming and hilarious. Gone way too soon. We love and miss you." Shelley Berman had a storied acting career that spanned several decades. He appeared in many popular sitcoms, such as Night Court, Friends, and The King of Queens. However, one of his most recognizable performances came in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Berman played Larry David's father, Nat David, across multiple episodes. The role also catapulted Berman back into the public sphere. He even confessed how the role brought him a renewed level of attention that he never could have imagined. In September 2017, Berman died at the age of 92. As his publicist confirmed to the New York Times, he passed away due to complications of Alzheimer's disease. Berman had dealt with the illness for many years. Bernie Mac lit up the 90s with a special brand of comedy. After achieving success as a stand-up comedian, he quickly transitioned into the world of acting, appearing as Pastor Clever in Friday and Uncle Bernie in Moesha. However, the 2000s is when his star burned the brightest. From the Ocean's 11 franchise to Transformers, Mac showed up in some of the biggest blockbusters of the era. He also received his own sitcom in 2001, The Bernie Mac Show, which ran for 5 successful seasons. The show featured guest appearances from a large number of celebrities, including the likes of Chris Rock, Ice Cube, and Matt Damon. In August 2008, Mac died at the age of 50 from complications associated with pneumonia. Mac also had sarcoidosis, which, according to the Cleveland Clinic, affects the immune system and causes lumps to appear on organs. However, his publicist confirmed his death wasn't related to the illness. While remembering Mac, his friend, actor Don Cheadle, told CBS News, "This is a very sad day for many of us who knew and loved Bernie. He brought so much joy to so many. He will be missed, but heaven just got funnier." On The Office, the security guard Hank was a fan favorite. Hank interacted with the Scranton employees of Dunder Mifflin on a regular basis, and sometimes engaged in their silly behavior.
How many orange traffic cones do you have?
2.
Oh, God.
The role of Hank was played by Hugh Dane. Before The Office, Dane portrayed smaller roles in sitcoms such as Friends, Boy Meets World, and Sister Sister. However, it was Hank that proved to be the most memorable role of his career. In May 2018, Dane died from pancreatic cancer. He was 75. Co-star Rainn Wilson posted a touching tribute to the actor on X, writing, "R.I.P. Hugh Dane, aka Hank the security guard. He was one of the greats. So kind, funny, talented. We will all miss him." Actor and writer Bob Einstein was every bit as talented as his younger brother, comedian and actor Albert Brooks. He first made a name for himself by creating the comedic stuntman Super Dave Osborne in the 70s. As the sketch routine took off, he became a regular on the variety television circuit and went on to win a couple of Emmys. Later in his career, Einstein began appearing in sitcoms. 2 of his most famous roles were as Marty Funkhauser in Curb Your Enthusiasm and as Larry Middleman on Arrested Development. On Curb Your Enthusiasm, Einstein's hilarious interactions with Larry David delighted fans. In January 2019, Einstein died at the age of 76. He had been diagnosed with cancer shortly before his death. Albert Brooks posted a tribute to his brother on X, writing, "R.I.P. my dear brother Bob Einstein. A great brother, father, and husband. A brilliantly funny man. You will be missed forever." At the time of his death, Johnny Lewis was probably best known for playing Half-Sack in Sons of Anarchy and Chili on the OC. However, he spent a good chunk of the 2000s appearing in sitcoms too. One of his first starring roles was as Gilby in The Sausage Factory. Lewis also had a brief run as Scotty on Drake and Josh. In September 2012, the 28-year-old actor was found dead in the driveway of his 81-year-old landlady, Catherine Davis. According to Yahoo, police believe that Lewis killed Davis, who was also found dead inside her home. Lewis was alleged to have gotten into an altercation with 2 men outside of Davis's house. It was initially unclear if Lewis jumped or fell from the roof of Davis's home. However, his death was eventually ruled accidental. Sons of Anarchy creator Kurt Sutter posted about Lewis's passing on his now-deleted X account, writing, "It was a tragic end for an extremely talented guy who unfortunately had lost his way. I wish I could say that I was shocked by the events last night, but I was not. I am deeply sorry that an innocent life had to be thrown into his destructive path." When it comes to paternal figures in comedy, John Witherspoon was one of the funniest. From Willie Jones in Friday to Pops and the Wayans Brothers, Witherspoon delivered a number of hilarious performances throughout his 40-plus years in show business.
Every time I come in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
While he'll mostly be remembered for his role as Pops, he also lent his talents to another iconic 2000s show, The Boondocks. In the animated series, Witherspoon played Granddad Freeman. The character loved his grandsons, Huey and Riley, but he would also lose his temper with them at times. In October 2019, Deadline published a statement from Witherspoon's family that confirmed his passing. It read, "It is with deepest sorrow that we can confirm our beloved husband and father, John Witherspoon, one of the hardest working men in show business, died today at his home in Sherman Oaks at the age of 77. Patrice O'Neal began his career as a stand-up comedian in the 90s. As he built up a following and the gigs became bigger and bigger, more opportunities opened up for him in Hollywood. In the 2000s, he took the leap into film and television, starring in all sorts of productions, such as Head of State and The Jury. O'Neal also appeared in two popular sitcoms of the era, Arrested Development and The Office. On The Office, he had a small role as the warehouse worker, Lonnie. O'Neal died in November 2011 at the age of 41. According to his agent, the actor experienced a stroke in October of that year. He was then hospitalized and died from complications arising from the stroke. Fellow comedian Dane Cook posted a photo and message to O'Neal on X, writing, "I started my career with Patrice O'Neal. He was one of the best ever. Fond memories of road gigs, late-night eats, and laughs." If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357.